Tina, Peter, Albert, Natalie, number 105. I'm out here in the sun has kind of just gone down. I was hoping to be out here a little sooner. It was quite nice. The sun hitting the headland back there, or the land, mountain, hill thing. Anyway, see some stars and stuff. Yes, Tpan. I'm in Sydney, and I'm gonna go sit inside here. And chat. Haven't really done one since I got to Australia, nor in quite a while. Let me think of, I want to kind of sit my computer on something here. Here's something we prepared earlier. Not really. Thought I would have something handy. Apparently, I need to walk around a bit. I'll use this. Yeah. Should be good. The box that the cats sit in. Hopefully they don't get upset. My cat Maisie here. Our cat. Likes to sit in the inbox. We have a little inbox type thing here, like an inbox outbox style. And she keeps an eye on all the incoming mail. Don't you, Maisie? Oh yeah. See yourself there? And she keeps an eye on the people outside too. Anywho, so what do we have on the schedule this week, Tpanners? I'm just gonna try and see. Oh yeah, just the chest, please. Just gonna try and have some cool things prepared here, but basically I was just gonna chat a little bit about New Year's Eve. And oh yeah, my hair isn't that crazy blonde. So the last time you saw, it was that crazy blonde, and I had since colored it blue and orange since then. But you didn't get to see that on a Tpan episode yet. So dang, I'll color it again soon. But I had to be doing some acting work while here, and that equals plain hair. Oh, wait, is Leah watching? She said he wants Leah's cousin wants to talk about being an actor. Anywho, let me just message Leah here and see if she wants to discuss that now. It changed Tpan to Tpan. And yeah, I'm using the swipe action. It's a little finicky because the keyboard doesn't always show up. It's a little buggy. You'd think that it wouldn't be that buggy because they've been making it for iOS jailbroken for yonks. So anyway, so New Year's, it's currently the 30th of December 2014. So tomorrow's New Year's Eve, and that's in Australia, but also in a lot of the world. So I'm trying to decide on what to do. I've done the Sydney Harbour adventure many times. Sorry, I'm just like rearranging the layout here. There we go. And there's an offer to go to the Carl Expressway, which I'd done before in 2005, which was pretty good, but crowded. And I guess I got a little bit burnt at the beach yesterday. Even though I applied a lot of sunscreen. Wear your sunscreen, kids, and long sleeves and hats and stuff. I think I have a hat. I could hat it quickly. I went on the scenic Spit Bridge to Manly scenic walkway today, and I wore this good hat for some shade on my face and stuff, even though I put the sunscreen on as well, and put the collar up to protect my neck and the sunscreen here and stuff. But I was pondering the idea of, if you're familiar with Sydney, there's a lighthouse at Barrenjoey Headland, which is like the northern tip of Sydney, and you hike up a little hill, and that would be really cool because you could probably see there's fireworks in Pittwater, which is the waters surrounding that area, and there's fireworks going to be everywhere, like almost every beach, and up at Gosford, which you can see from there and stuff. So I think it would be a cool thing to be like elevated a little bit, be able to see firework displays from all kinds of places. But then it would also be quiet, not really too many crowds, but I'm just not sure if people are allowed up there after dark, one, or on New Year's, or if there is an event on New Year's that you have to pay to go up there. And I just think it's quite a ways to drive, so you want to get there and be disappointed, I suppose. But I guess you could still just sit on Palm Beach and enjoy the chill, relaxing, and hopefully the sky will be clear and be able to see a lot of stars. So I've kind of been pondering that. I put a post on Reddit about it. It's probably searchable, but like New Year's Eve, Barrenjoey Lighthouse or something. I don't really have a day to figure that out, or less than a day, I suppose. So I don't really know. Not really a big firework person. Done a lot of fireworks, kind of over it. And crowds aren't that exciting. And I think, I was just thinking about it before, like all that litter that I'm sure would potentially be there. Probably just have to like hashtag let it go. Oh, that was horrible. Don't use hashtags in voice. So I'm gonna let my head breathe because it's a little toasty under that guy. Yeah, so if you are doing anything cool on New Year's Eve, and if you happen to know the situation at the Palm Beach Lighthouse, Barrenjoey Lighthouse thing, do leave a comment or tweet me is probably even better, at DJ Steen thing. Oh, I should set up, I should set that up. I should set up my little, I kind of just jumped straight into this, so hold the phone. Ooh. Opening the cameraman app. Okay, that's not the one. I can never remember which is the app to use to do lower thirds. Here we go. Deck. Do I have a logo? I think I might have a logo. Choose a warm summery color, I suppose, and switch this guy on and flip myself. Cool. So that's my tweet actions. Let's see if I can find a logo. I wonder if I made a cool new logo recently. Fiddler logo, none of that. Oh, chap, I think it's on my external. Plug in here. So, what do you do? And if you're not in Australia, what do you do for New Year's? Is there like a lot of countries do the whole firework thing, and you watch on TV, like every country goes through the fireworks. Oh yeah, here's China, here's Taipei, whatnot. And then, well, I guess China does theirs like halfway through January, though, Chinese New Year. Maybe there's just some sections of China. So, I did make a logo. Don't know where it ended up. Oh yeah, here we go. Why did it not come up in a search? I don't know. What's a cool one that would go? Whoa. Yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna go with this minty one. I wonder if 200 kilobytes is too big. Let's give this one a go, kids. I chose the logo, but well, there we go. Hopefully it's not that pixelated when this is saved, but yeah, it's been squished too much maybe. Maybe if I do like a 200, I'll just show you on my screen, I guess. That might be more interesting than my face doing nothing. So a screen share of Photoshop. Grant access. I have to grant access to Google Hangout in System Prefs. Allow the apps to. Oh. Okay, guess that's done. So I guess we can open. There you go, that's the purple version. This is the green one I was going to do, and I may as well bring it down to like 200 pixels. The seed for web claw fingers. And 11 kilobytes is much smaller than 200. And designing things. Oh, I saved it as something weird. There we go. Now I should be able to bring it into choosing logo. Choosing the smallest one. And I wonder if that will be better. Oh, I think it shows more of the D. Yeah, there you go. See more of the line there. So that's nice. Like, so I did this DS sort of symbol, and it's kind of like it's a D, and then it goes down into like it's almost like a J, and then it curves back into like an upside down S, and the whole thing is sort of like an S. Pretty cool. Did a little bit of rhombus action and stuff. Did a lot of different versions, like a rainbow sun one and stuff. Actually, I wonder if can I show that to you? we do this? I wonder if, does this work? No, when I preview it, can I start screen sharing? But yeah, I think if I just do the whole screen, and we go into the abyss. So if I do, just trying to see if you see, okay, you can see that. So then it's a rainy kind of version. Thought that was kind of interesting. The minty one, transparent one, which because OS 10 Yosemite has transparency on all windows, you can kind of see the Google Hangout green stuff behind it. That's funny. Yeah, like, well, this is the Illustrator file, which has the preview is weird for that. I thought I maybe saved out the sun and different ones. Well, that's not it. Maybe I made them in the. Maybe I only did them in the AI version. Yeah, that's right. Did a little work vectoring it up. Yeah, so you can do like. I imagine the edges aren't there, I suppose. And then I did like a mountain one. Ooh, could I get rid of that rhombus though? Why is there? Oh, there's the rhombus. There you go. So it's like it's incorporated with the mountain. Bit of snow-capped mountain action. Pretty simple stuff. Yeah, I know. So sure, save here. Anywho, yeah, I made a logo, so now that's on my thing. Let's stop the screen share action. Okay. Save logo, sweet. Sorry about it, I don't know how long this has been going for already, but it's been probably too long. I haven't really talked about much. So I had some other things here. What do we got? Oh, so New Year's Eve. If you're not sure how that's spelled, it's New Year's apostrophe S Eve. So it belongs to the new year. It's Eve. And I thought to expand upon that, you can do April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is different though, because it ends in an S, and it's cumulative to all of the fools. So you would just put an apostrophe at the end of fools. So instead of apostrophe S, it's S apostrophe. So that is some getting knowledge, because and I sometimes get confused too. Whenever these events come around, you're like, oh, is it the apostrophe before or after? Is there an apostrophe? How many years in a new year? Multiple years? Is it? So yeah, I realize it can be confusing, but it's also important to write it the right way. And if you put it into the Googlies, it'll show you the spelling on Wikipedia correctly. I wonder if I can do, I guess this is how. Floodgate. So I guess I have to turn it off and on to set it. Oh, it doesn't fit in day for some reason. It's a bunch of bollocks. But anyway, you get the idea where the apostrophes go. So cool. Should I just keep it a New Year's Eve thing? So the other things I have, so I do do like extra work when I'm away, and that's one of the ideas. Like I've been in the Palm Beach quite a lot recently, because that's where they shoot it, and boy oh boy, the amount of British people that love Home and Away and just rock up there when they're traveling here and just like, we want to see the set, and there's really not that much interesting stuff to see. And I don't really even know, like the actors that are on it now, I don't watch, I don't, like sometimes it would just be on and you would get to know characters and stuff, but like TV would be on in the room. And now I am 4.5 years pulled out of it. Like Chris Hemsworth has gone from Home and Away to being Thor and stuff. So all these people on the show now I'm not familiar with, other than like Alf and Colleen and those characters. But it's fun. Get up early, go to the beach, do some pretty simple stuff, sitting around a bunch, eating scrumptious food. And then it hasn't been warm, but it's been pretty nice here. And the water is a little bit chilly, but and the waves at Palm Beach are pretty hectic. But just jumping in for like 5-10 minutes after the way is great. 10 in the morning, nice time of day. You don't even have to really put on some sunscreen because you can jump in and jump out, go home, catch some waves, body surfing. Pretty sweet. That's a lot of fun. Palm Beach is good. I've grown, because of that, I've grown a little bit fond of the beach. We actually went to the beach the other day for several hours and then hiked up to Palm Beach Lighthouse, Barrenjoey Lighthouse. And that was a lot. And I put a lot of sunscreen on, but I still got a little bit tannish. Like there's some parts that I kind of got to keep the moisturizing, the aloe running on it. But I didn't always just really like the beach mud, but it's nice when you voluntarily just have a little dip. But another cool thing, on the last episode of Tpan, if you recall, did talk about a lot of the settings and new things on the GoPro Hero 4, which I am now in possession of. My original GoPro, loved it. Got it on Woot for like $130 a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And when Jalen Johnston and Chris Rock and Roll Geek, Chris Darbro, got theirs at the same time. And I recently went to a shop at the Supercenter, and I left, like, it looked just like this, but with my old GoPro, sitting down while I was trying some shoes on, some thongs actually, some flip-flops. And I guess I went to pay, and then after that I realized, oh yeah, the GoPro. And it was gone, and left stuff with the shop, left stuff with the management of the center and stuff, and no one ever got back to me, even though there is footage, recorded footage of like outside that store and stuff. So pretty sure if the guy started going through it, and he's like, oh, it's probably going to be a bit to look at here, because it was like a, could have been 10 or 15 minutes of when these people exited the store and whatever. But I feel like that would have been pretty definitive. Not that, I guess, from crappy quality security footage, but there would be even a, how do you do that? There's no like iris recognition or anything yet. I guess just putting it up on the news. Not that a GoPro is a big deal. So anyway, my sister was in America recently, in Japan, and I'm jealous. And I was like, well, we'll just pick me up a GoPro. So it is a nice upgrade from the original GoPro, the Hero 1, I guess you could call it. But some things that I don't think I mentioned or realized when I was talking about the Hero 4 when it was released. It's very nice to connect to the phone, and when you set it up, and I tell people this even though I had very minimal experience with it previously, but you can set up all the settings from your phone. So very first thing you do connect, like set up the Wi-Fi on the device, and you can do this with like the Hero 2, 3, 3 Plus, I think, maybe just the 3 and 3 Plus, like whatever has the built-in Wi-Fi. Well, whatever works with the app on the phone, which I think might be 3 and up. But set up the Wi-Fi network first, and I think it's like the default password is like GoPro Hero or something, and it might be different now. But yeah, you set up that, and then you make your own Wi-Fi network name, your own password, so it's secure and everything. And then you connect it to the app on your phone, and it's like iPhone, Android, I don't know what else. And then you can set all the settings, which is the new menu system on the camera is quite good, but it's not backlit and stuff. So you get the Wi-Fi all connected and set it up to be like what the default mode is and what if you want to use Pro Tune stuff. And then also setting the date. And I think I recall back in the day, you would go into the app and you would say like, okay, December, whatever, 2014 and the time and stuff. But now all you do is just click a button and it gets the time from your phone and the date from your phone, and it just sets it that way. And that is so beautiful. That is very well thought of. I did make a video the other day, which I have not posted yet, regarding all the plastic and stuff that they come in, the cases and stuff that the pole comes in, and that the camera itself comes in, and that all the accessories come in. There's so much excessive plastic, like the battery, especially. You fit 9 batteries in the amount of plastic that they use to wrap it. But I think it's all because they want to keep it the same size as all of the accessories, even though the pole one is a little bit bigger than the rest of them. But it just seems very excessive. And the whole casing for the camera, like I get all of this, all the packaging is like based on buying it in a store. Like it has the little hook to hang stuff and to hang it on a shelf and that, which I guess they're in all stores, and I guess that's necessary, but it just seems like a lot of extra crap. Like, do you, for the camera part, it's in like this thick plastic that I hope is recyclable. And it displays the camera, like you can see the actual camera that you're getting. iPhone packaging is pretty good. It's fancy and could probably be slimmed down or more environmentally friendly. But you don't see the actual phone through the packaging. And it's like that with a lot of things. You don't see that with computers and stuff. And I get that it's a nice camera and stuff, but you don't really need to see it. Like that whole top section with the plastic thing, you could just put the camera in a little protective microfiber bag inside the box and just have the box for sale. Anyway, I don't think I mentioned that in the video that I did, like actually the way that they could change it to make it better, but I think that's a good idea. So another thing about this, which I will link to a video by Digital Rev when they did their review of the GoPro Hero 4, and they didn't get into a lot of the nitty gritty and stuff, but just mostly like the upgraded features and stuff, because they've done the Hero, I think from the original to the newest one, they've done reviews of every new one. This one I think is a very worthy upgrade, because like the Hero Plus can only do 4K at 15 frames a second, which there's not much point in that. This can do 4K and 30 frames a second, 1080p, 120 frames, all of that. But you can also do flat color with the Pro Tune option. So you can set it to Pro Tune, which is basically their like advanced settings option. So you can change the white balance in kelvins, change the ISO. I think it's like 800. It can be like 400, 800, 1600, and 6400. There's not many ISO settings. And it's pretty decent at night. I uploaded a Me Today the other day, or I'm still trying to upload the Me Today because I did it in 4K and it's 1.6 gigs for 4 minutes. I'm still trying to get that uploaded because it keeps on. I think my computer keeps sleeping even though I'm telling it not to, and then that stops the upload from completing. So with the flat color, you get a lot more detail in shadows and highlights and stuff. So it makes the color and everything a little bit duller, but then if you color correct it in GoPro's app or in Final Cut or whatever, you can get more detail out of the scene than GoPro's color rendering that they do, which they over contrast and over saturate. Maybe not over, but they add a lot of contrast and saturation to stuff, and it looks great. But you do notice like that having it flat and then color correcting does look a lot better. There's a lot more detail and stuff. So I'm playing around with that a little bit. It's been very handy using the app to just at least preview what the shot is going to look like to make sure it's level and stuff, because sometimes you don't realize like you're holding it not quite level. I guess you could stick a little level on top, but this pole is really nice. It's got the tripod in the bottom. What else has been different that I've noticed about it? Having the flat lenses, or the flat cover, the front is nice. Really it needs to come with lens caps. Like you can get lens caps separately, but one of these come with them. There's a music pack and a surf pack bundle that are coming out soon with certain mounts that are different than the default. Which when I got my GoPro original one, I got the motorsport pack, which came with a suction cup and stuff, which was nice. But the music pack and the surf pack aren't out yet. I don't know why they haven't released those yet. So the music pack comes with a couple of lens caps for the camera, like for the case, and then also for the actual lens itself when the case is off. It's not out yet, so that's a bit of a bummer that, because I would have gotten the music pack, because I mean, I don't have a guitar or anything to strap stuff onto, but I think some of those clampy things could be used for other stuff too. Probably like a webcam style thing and that kind of stuff. Yeah, the menu system is very nice. You can hold the settings button on the side is great. I think maybe the previous models had that too, but this is a new thing to me. So you can just hold that in if the camera is off or on, and the Wi-Fi will turn on, and then you can control things from the phone, like turning the camera on from the phone. It's really very, very nice. Got some nice fast cards for it, some SanDisk Extreme Plus, 32 gig micro SDs. Battery life, I got a couple batteries, because whenever you get a camera you should just get 2 batteries, or any device really. If the iPhone could have a second battery, you could take the iPhone battery out and have a second one. It seems like maybe I've been leaving it on too much, or leaving the Wi-Fi on while it's on and stuff too much, but I've been trying to keep it off. Like the first day or so, I just kept it running a lot, and I do have it set to turn off after 2 minutes. But it does seem like the battery life isn't as long as I recall. Now it does do higher quality photos and bursts and 4K and all of that, and I'm not shooting in 4K all the time. I'm going kind of between 4K 1080/30 and 1080/120. But I did notice when I was at the beach yesterday in the surf with this pole kind of half out, that I noticed the battery. I did record like 3 to 4 minutes at a time for some videos. Then I'd stop and just leave it on so I could quickly start it again. And it started, after I was in the water for maybe half an hour or so, it started, and I don't think it wasn't on the whole time I was in the water. It started showing the like blank rectangle showing that like the battery's dying, but it just kept doing that for ages. And I don't think I've completely exhausted a battery yet, but it kept doing it for so long, and I just thought, like, when is it actually going to die? And I haven't had the chance to let one completely die yet, because I've been doing stuff and I wanted to make sure there's a battery that actually has juice in it, so I'd switch them out. Yeah, I guess the battery life is probably the same, or pretty good. I think the battery might be slightly smaller than the original GoPro, because it is a smaller thing, but it is it's a different slot and stuff for the battery. Yeah, I haven't played with the HDMI port yet. That's about all. It's great. Highly recommended. It is a little weird that it's 500 instead of 400. The old models were 400 top of the line, the black version, but now this one's 500. I mean, I get it, like it's a very good camera, but I don't see what the increase, like just because it has 4K 30, I don't know. So anyway, that's great. Hydration is good. I printed out the Cards Against Humanity, which you can do because it's like open source or whatever. And I printed out the Australian version. I did it on paper that's draft paper, but like, how is Tony Abbott stopping the boats? And then I guess those are black cards, so then I guess there's white ones. All kinds of skin cancer. Sheepdags. What is another one too? Breaking the silence. Myxomatosis. People smuggling. A jolly swagman. Populate or perish. Steve Irwin. Massive widespread drought. Kiwis. Tasmanians. A didgeridildo. Where's my? Gotta switch back to the. So I'm not making this up. A didgeridildo. I don't know who Gina Reinhardt is. It sounds familiar. A good-natured, fun-loving Aussie racism. Oh, that's relevant. Backed by 4x4 full of dead backpackers. Okay. So there's some boat people, half human, or half boat, half human. Pretty good stuff in here. I was going to use this on Christmas, but I forgot to bring them to. Oh yeah, Christmas was fun. I made dessert archers. That was good times. iSnack 2.0. That is where a little history lesson. iSnack 2.0 is when like Web 2.0 was all coming about and all fancy and stuff. And well, Web 2.0 had come and gone. Like it was well, and no one really said it much anymore. But Vegemite was like, we have a new version of Vegemite that has, I don't know if they mentioned it for the competition, but it has cream cheese mixed in or something like cream cheese. Cream cheese is not a big thing here in Australia like it is in America, like bagels and with cream cheese and stuff. But I guess it was a more milder version of Vegemite, which can be pretty strong. If you have it by itself, it's quite strong, but with butter on toast, it's beautiful. And I guess there's like salt-reduced versions as well because it's quite salty. So there's this iSnack 2.0, and there was a contest to have like name our new product with cream cheese mixed in, and iSnack 2.0 was the winner, and was horrible. Like the media was just like, that is ridiculous. Why would that one win? But that's what I think people had to vote for it. So I guess Anonymous or some bunch of nerds probably said like, haha, that'd be funny. A sick burnout, the entire cast of Neighbours, a meat raffle. Meat raffles are where you go to an RSL, which is kind of like a pub thing with food and steaks and quite a lot of different types of food, pastas and all that. Depends on the RSL, I suppose. But you be a member, and if you want to go and you're not a member, you just like sign into a book. And I don't know what comes of that. I don't think I've ever been contacted. But I guess it's just like if you're killed or something, I have no idea. But you sign like a guest book kind of thing, and then you get like a little ticket receipt for the guest book. It's strange. Maybe a better Australian could explain it than me. But anyway, a lot of these things, they have a meat raffle where you get a paper raffle ticket, a couple bucks or something, and then if you win the meat raffle, you're like, oh, hell, stoked, because you get a whole ton of meat that you can cook at home on the barbie. Sorry, this content cannot be viewed in your region. Oh, I wonder if this Tpan will be that way. Because I'm doing it from Australia. I wonder if people outside Australia will be able to view it. Saliva stained poster of Hugh Jackman and stuff. Anyway, so this is the Australian version of Cards Against Humanity. You can print it out. You can print out all kinds of versions. I think there's like a Canadian and American, and then there's all the real cards you can get that have stuff on them. The giant big black box one and stuff. Anyway, watched Love Actually last night. Didn't realize that Christmas was a time when people confessed truths or secrets or something like that. Is that a thing, or is that just the movie? Leave your comments below. So yeah, been spending a lot of time with family. It's been fantastic. Went to like a Christmas shindig at my cousin's place, and that was good. Live music played there. My uncle plays music, and it's great. Sings and plays guitar and stuff. Lots of good foods and things that I can't name, like don't know what they were called, but were yummy. Recorded a bunch of video there from like it was good bokeh with Christmas lights and stuff on the SLR, that is. So I have a 700D T5i that I've been using here to record some working on some music videos, working on some short films and stuff, and all just like mostly mucking around, but I'm just gonna make some sweet things while I'm here with actors at my disposal. But everyone has jobs, and it's kind of annoying. Oh, these Opal cards, great thing. Like, I guess I should talk a little bit about like changes that have happened since I've been living in America. But anyway, yeah, working on some videos and things like that while I'm here. But yeah, people have work, and that's annoying to work around because I'm still working while I'm here, but it's less because of the time zone change. I do a few hours less than normal. But yeah, still people do the 9 to 5 thing, which is, I remember back in the day, it used to be frustrating when I worked like retail and had a lot of different hours and stuff, and then people that did the 9 to 5, it was like tough to schedule stuff with them because they do the 9 to 5 and then they want to go have dinner and then like at home or whatever, and then they're buggered from being at work. It's a bit of a dilemma. Life is tough. So if you want to be in some videos or help produce some videos or whatever, we're working on a web series too, but we actually have a series crew working on that, and it's going to be slower than I'd like, but it's going to be good. But for any of these music videos and simple stuff like short films and that kind of thing, simple in my mind, then feel free to comment. Be happy to have people help. I don't at this point have any money to contribute to like your time, but I think it'd be a good time, and time is money, meaning time is valuable, meaning you had a great time and you valued that time. Yeah, so I think it'd just be good to do some giddy things in and around. And the other thing is I need to go to Melbourne and possibly to like Byron Bay, Brisbane, Gold Coasty area. Have some cool friends up there. I did my year 12 grade 10-year high school reunion. That was fun. Found out people live in different places, Canberra and Byron Bay and stuff. But I also want to do the Outback. So if there's anyone watching this until this point, I love you. But also I would like to go on some adventures outside of Sydney. Blue Mountains would be cool too. That's actually close and looks like a good adventure. But I'd like to do it with some people, not by myself. So let me know if you're interested in that. Just like spontaneous, who knows how long, a week at a time or something. And depending on like my work schedule, my work is always just in the morning, so that shouldn't get in the way if I decide to work during the time that we are away. If I'm going to the Outback, I'm going to have to take time off. Yeah, so anyway, let's do some cool adventuring action. So a few things, the trains are all like the Millennium trains now in Sydney, which means which were first introduced around the Sydney Olympics, and they're very smooth. And they have little signs that say what the next stop is, kind of like the Long Island Railroad in America, in Long Island, in New York, and much smoother than like the subways in New York City. They're like there's no bumpy bumps, or even the Long Island Railroad. Like there's no bump. There's not really any bumps like that you feel, and you can't. It's very silent too. Like it's not like so that's top notch. And this Opal card thing, there's a hard plastic card that you sign up for an account online, you get a free card, and it's all like NFC kind of thing. You just tap when you get on the bus, and you tap when you get off the bus, or get on the train and get off the train, ferries. And so it's across all forms of public transport, and it's fantastic. And trains and buses are pretty much on time all the time, like a couple minutes here and there maybe, but that's not really a problem. At least during the times that I go at peak, I don't know. It's pretty quick too, like, yeah, I guess I'm used to like taking an hour to go from where I'd stay on Long Island to New York City, and sometimes going from like parts of New York City to Brooklyn areas can take a while. Because I guess just because there's a lot of stops, there's not too many stops on the train going from like Chatswood or Roseville to Sydney Town Hall. So that's nice. There's a few more malls that are changed to be Westfields now. So now everything is a Westfield. Went and saw The Hobbit, or something else that you need to know. Go see The Hobbit in cinema. It's $23 for a movie ticket here, plus an extra $1 for the freaking 3D goggles. And you can get designer 3D glasses. You can get Hobbit-themed ones. You can get Madagascar penguin-themed ones. I think there's like a Harry Potter. Is there a Harry Potter movie out? I don't know. There's a few other movie-themed ones, and then there's like aviator style and clip-on ones if you have glasses that have the metal clip-on sunglass things, but instead of the sunglasses, you have 3D polarized lenses. And so that's ridiculous. You have to pay for glasses now. I guess you get to keep them, and I guess hopefully next time you remember to bring them. But go see The Hobbit, because this is the last chance to go see The Hobbit, and you want to see it in the high frame rate. And I think I mentioned this. I may have mentioned this on a Tpan in the past, probably, but for the past 3 Christmases, this year, the year before, and the year before, so 2013 and 2012, The Hobbit has been released around Christmas. And every time it's been released in this high frame rate format, 3D format, which, to my understanding, I haven't watched all of the behind the scenes stuff, but I did a bunch of research a couple of years ago when it first started coming out, and Peter Jackson's vision, sort of like Avatar with James Cameron. He had the idea for Avatar for a very long time, but the technology wasn't available. I think it's sort of similar to Peter Jackson shooting it in 3D 48 frames a second, which you can do now, not for cheap, because you're not using film and digital stuff. You can do as many frames a second as you want. But recording and playing back in 48 frames a second, it's not super fast. Like, it's not like looking like it's in fast forward or anything. And it just makes it, there's twice the amount of information every second. So people that have problems with 3D, it's probably because 3D splits the movie into different eyes. So each eye gets half the amount of information. So if you're watching a 24 frame per second movie, which is what a lot of movies are, you're only getting 12 frames to each eye, which could look stuttery. That's why some people don't feel well or get disoriented with 3D movies. But now you're getting 24 frames to each eye because it's 48 frames a second. So it's much clearer, smoother, and when you first start watching the movie, it looks like it's a little bit in fast forward, but then your eyes adjust to it, and it's very amazing. Like, it's so clear, and like a lot of things are in focus, and the landscapes look amazing and just so sharp. It's cool. The Hobbit story, I'm not a huge fan or anything. I just pretty much go for the 48 frames because it's an experience and not necessarily something that you can see on TVs yet. I guess maybe the DVDs might play back in 48 frames a second, but or the Blu-rays, but I guess the player would have to support that, and I'm not sure if any players / TVs support that. So it's got to have the disc or the file. Hopefully, like you download stuff because I'm sure discs will go away. I mean, they're much higher quality because you can put like 50 gigs on a Blu-ray, but it's also what do you like, just download it to a hard drive and store much more on a smaller physical piece of hardware. But I don't know. I haven't really actually looked up if Blu-ray players now support 48 frames a second, or if TVs do. I'm sure some of the latest TVs probably, because TVs will, I guess, hertz and frame rate have a similar correlation. So if you have like a TV that can do 120 hertz, it's like basically 120 frames a second. But you couldn't watch that, and 60 hertz even, or 60 frames a second, you couldn't really watch that in real time. So and I haven't ever seen options for 48 frames or 48 hertz, if that's even a thing. And I'm probably getting the whole hertz frame rate thing screwed up here, but I know there's some sort of relationship between them. It's like a refresh rate. So you probably have the refresh rate the same as the frame rate of the movie or the show or whatever. But I've seen some things like where people will watch like football games and stuff in 120 hertz because it's clearer. But I don't know. Anywho, go see The Hobbit, even if it is $25 for a freaking movie in Australia. But just make sure you go see the 3D high frame rate format. And not every session or every theater plays that. I think a lot of them do now. But it's the acronym is HFR, so it might say like 3D HFR. And I don't think there's an IMAX version. It might play in some IMAX theaters, but I don't think there's like an IMAX HFR. It's 3D HFR. I think it's Real 3D. It's that Real 3D brand. Anywho, so that's good stuff. That's about all I got. What are some other differences that have been around in Sydney right now? Oh, the Sydney Siege stuff. I feel like I might have talked about that on video already somewhere. That's horrible. But was the flower tribute makeshift memorial thing? I went and saw that pretty much at its peak, and then also when it had all been cleaned up. And they just had a small tent. They still had some flowers that you could put in. So that was quite magnificent to see, just an amazing outpouring of love and humanity being great and stuff. And I don't think there's not really any comparison between like September 11th, 2001 and stuff, but people were trying to make their comparisons. And people were like, oh yeah, Australia and Sydney's better. Like I love living here because of how much compassion people have and all of that. It was all turned out as best it could, I suppose. But I don't feel any country is like better than the other. Maybe just that it's cool that countries are different, so you can have different experiences and stuff. But I'm not gonna say like America's better or Uganda is better, or whatever, Uruguay, Italy. I'm sure they're all great places, but it's not like. And I guess there's different cultures that do different things. But I was gonna say, was there some kind of makeshift memorial at September 11th stuff? Like, were there piles of flowers? Did they get turned in? Did those piles of flowers get blended up and now are running through the fountain of the memorial that's there now? Or were they saved and turned into potpourri and now are in the memorial section that's like a museum? I don't know. I don't recall hearing a huge flower thing, and I'm not sure what the coverage overseas was like with the after everything happened. Did they keep following up with it saying, look, more flowers, look, more flowers, look, more flowers? I don't know. Here they talked about it a lot, but even the funerals for 2 civilians that died, hostages, beautiful people, I suppose. The freaking news is horrible. And they're like standing next to the hearse and like, oh, look, the dad's coming out. That's great. Yeah, people were comparing the flower memorial to Princess Diana when she died, because a lot of people put flowers outside the house thing, the kingdom castle, whatever they have in Britain. I forget what it's called, but they had a whole bunch of flowers there, and they turned those into memorials. So that's kind of what we're doing with our thing. Not sure when or where the memorial is going to be built. But yeah, that was crazy. And yeah, recorded some videos of the flowers on my. Ooh, yeah. Oh no, no, I did that with my SLR. Yeah, I don't think I went there with my old GoPro because I had a bunch of footage of my old GoPro. That hey, if you took the GoPro from the Belarus Supercenter in the Rivers store, I wouldn't mind that footage back. I wouldn't mind the GoPro back because it's good to have a second GoPro, but the footage is most important. And I put a thing on Craigslist. Maybe I should put something on Gumtree, because Gumtree seems to be like the Craigslist of Australia. It's international, but it seems to be more popular here than Craigslist. Yeah, there was some footage like doing a vlog across the bridge and the harbour bridge and stuff with Leah that I didn't get to. I transferred stuff as soon as possible, but I hadn't transferred that stuff yet. And it was on an SD. Oh, it was on a big SD card in there too. No, I don't have that SD card either. Well, anyway, keep track of your GoPro, kids. Back up your stuff all the time. And right now, you should just go back up your hard drives and your iPhones and your Androids and everything, because it's the end of the year and you want to make sure all that stuff that you've done this year that's been fantabulous is safe somewhere on an extra hard drive, on a hard drive at your office, on a hard drive at your parents' place, and online somewhere like Backblaze or CrashPlan, whoever you may choose to use for your online backup needs. I'm done. I need to have dinner. It's 10 to 10 p.m. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Just kind of a little update action. Hopefully I do another one of these, maybe tomorrow, maybe on the 31st, but more likely in the new year of 2015. I'm going to try and get Danielle on and maybe Luke. And yeah, because the time zone is different here, I can probably get some people on the west coast of America and in the UK Europe area. So yeah. And maybe if I don't get them both, then I can do separate ones because my time zone works with both, which is good. So again, thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 105 of Tpan. I know I have some show notes in previous episodes that I need to work on. I'll get to these ones. I think this one should be pretty simple. Just a couple links I wanted to get to. But hey, let me know about New Year's Eve. Because it's tomorrow, and you should tweet me, and we should do something cool like eat ice cream under the stars. Thank you very much, and enjoy yourself.